We're here for one simple reason. He believed in the dream, I believed in the dream, and our dreams come true, and there's no reason every one of yours can't either. Putting in my 2 cents. Everyone has 2 cents to put in, and everyone's philosophy quite often is kind of designed to help you get through life as we know it. But I was talking about alligator hide, and you have to be tough like that, and resilience to be able to ward off negativity. I mean, people have said to me, words don't mean anything unless they're true. That's not true. Words hurt. Words are the same as a thorn on a rose. They look nice, but boy, some of them can really hurt.
I used to sit in this little apartment, and it was a room. As a matter of fact, the room was so small, I remember I was able to open up the window and close the door while sitting on the bed at the same time. It was like 8 feet by 9 feet. But the one thing about that room, there was really very little distraction. So I would sit there propped up in bed, and I'd go out with my big pen and legal pad and just start writing these stories. And most of them were very, very trivial. But there was something about the process of unrealized dreams. I was always brought back to this subject because I think it's one of the most enduring subjects and one of the most difficult passages for people to accept, that they never were realized in their own lifetime, that they just didn't get that shot.
Did anyone ever study an alligator, crocodile, and wonder how they survived so many hundreds of millions of years? Thick skin, almost impervious pain. That is an element that I think is so necessary in this day and age to be successful. Talent, all right, that's a given. You have to have some of that. Ambition, yeah, you gotta have a hell of a lot of that. And this fear of failure, good helping of that, certainly inspires one to get out of bed in the morning. But the most important thing is the alligator hide. You have to be able to take criticism. I believe that some of the most talented people in the world fail because they can't take the criticism. They're too sensitive. Their artistic part of them just can't withstand the withering intellectual verbal bullets that rip them to shreds. In other words, criticism. Believe me, I was told 1,000 times, well, not 1,000, but a few hundred, you're not cut out for this. You slur, you're this, you're that. We can't fit you into any kind of category. You should really quit. Seriously, you know what? You should work behind the scenes. And I went, well, yeah, thank you for that. But everything you're saying is bouncing off. It's like bulletproof. And that's what I'm trying to pass on to individuals, that you have to be able to be like a solid tree.
I decided it was a time to come to California. So I went to California, and I moved in the valley, and things weren't going very, very well there. As a matter of fact, I had to go out and try to sell my dog because it was either do that or he just was not going to be very well fed. And then one night, I went to see Muhammad Ali fight. For one brief moment, this supposed stumble bump turned out to be magnificent in the fact that he lasted and knocked the champion down. I said, boy, if this isn't a metaphor for life. His entire life crystallized at that moment. He will be remembered for all eternity, at least among the fight fans. He did something extraordinary. I said, now that is probably what I need as a catalyst for an idea. A man who's going to stand up to life and take one shot and maybe go the distance. So I started to write. And it was one of those writing frenzies. And 3 days later, I came up with the script of Rocky. Now, the script by no means was a finished piece of material. It was probably about 90 pages, and maybe 10% of it remained in the final script, but it was done. So we're talking a little bit, and I guess I really wasn't right for the acting part. And on the way out, I said, I don't know if it matters, but I do a little bit of writing. He goes, really? I said, yeah, I'm writing this story. I have this thing about wrestlers, and I might do something about boxing. Well, he goes, well, bring it around. And I thought, if I hadn't stopped on the way out, that's why I tell all actors or writers, don't give up, keep talking. Eventually you might hit a nerve somewhere and they go, come on back. And if they didn't say, come on back, or bring it later and let's see what you've developed, I wouldn't be sitting here. So I have to give incredible credit to their insight and their patience, and they're willing to take a chance, which it doesn't exist much anymore, unfortunately.
We all share certain traits. For example, I don't like to argue. I don't like stress. I don't like conflict. But sometimes you have to face the conflict and the stress and the source of that and get it out of the way. Don't keep it inside. Somehow you have to purge yourself of this thing that's eating you alive. There's different ways of doing it. Getting into someone's grill, or you start to use your head and work your way around the problem without offending anyone, but you're getting your point across. But sometimes you just have to offend someone who's offending you. Courage. You all have it. It's just pushing the red button. Keep punching. Am I going to be caught in this time warp called the past? Because quite often, let's face it, your problems are from the past. If you didn't get the attention you wanted in the first 5 years being nurtured, you're going to have a problem for the rest of your life with nurturing and feeling secure. For example, I feel that nurturing and compassion and love and protection at a very early age, meaning when you're an infant, is more of a priority than food. And when you don't get that when you're young, you crave it your whole life. And quite often, it's also an incentive to do something with your life, to fill it up with some sense of accomplishment, or it's a release for anger, whatever it is. Quite often, I have found that the most damaged people have been the most productive. I know it's a horrible thing to say, but people that are missing chunks in their heart, gaps in their soul, because they weren't given the love and attention when they're very young, that can't be compensated for. Those are holes. Those doors are shut. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
You can't be alone. To really succeed, no man really is an island. When you find the right components in your life, the right people that gel with you, then you feel as though you're invincible. It may be a fallacy, but you at least feel as though you can take all that life has to dish out.